Welcome back to Super Sentai Review, episode 209. Excuse me. This I'm discussing episodes 7 through 9 of Gekiranger. Now, these two episodes wrap up pretty much in the way the first. I would think it's the second story arc of the series because you could kind of say the first three episodes basically are like just the introduction to the series. This is the first major one, the five Venom Beasts. Episodes 7 and 8 are pretty much a two-parter where two of the monsters fall in love with each other. Yep, two of the Venom Beasts. It is... I'm going to try to get their names right here. It is... Sarasora and Miga. Yes. Now, pretty much we have a sort of a two-parter with this one. We also introduction to Mika's daughter, who is Nasumi, and she's actually a recurring character in this series. Oh yeah, she is. She's a recurring character. She's in episodes 7 and 8, and she does appear in the first movie that they have, and she appears sporadically afterward. She doesn't appear that very much. She only appears in effectively 9 episodes. No, seriously, she appears in 9 episodes. Of course, she is there for the finale, and of course, she's there for the movie that comes afterwards, and like 1 episode of Gekiranger, which also last appearance like a lot of the characters. Because I think that Gekiranger will celebrate the 40th anniversary of the franchise. I believe so. Actually, it's the 44th, but they kind of celebrating the 45th anniversary a little early-ish with this one. Yeah. I'll be discussing that one in the future. Don't worry about that. Yep. But in the case of pretty much in the way, like, we have Mega where he's in love with Sarasa, and pretty much that they, because he's sort of a toad monster, and she is a, Sarasa is a, Scorpion. Yeah, she's a scorpion. But yeah, these two, he has a thing for her, and he kind of protects her, and they're kind of lovey-dovey, and it got to the point where Kale was getting kind of annoyed with the lovey-dovey. Just go kill the Gekirangers. Like, and of course they're in the Rishi form, which seems kind of awkward seeing this. The two of these creatures that look exactly like in these forms, I like the monster forms better. But you only can tell the other one's male or female by their voice, because it looks like the same exact suit. And also their sash are different. So they're pretty much eliminated by episode 8. And also we get development. Basically we get the start of development of the bazooka. The Geki bazooka they were used in this series. I don't remember if this was used in Gekiranger, if this was used in Jungle Fury. I don't know. Let me take a look at that, because you would think something like that would be used. Yes. Let me take a look about that here. Geki Bazooka. It's probably part of the arsenal of the Gekiranger. Let's see. Let me take a look at. Was there an introduction to a counterpart of this in Jungle Fury? Yes, this thing did pop up there too. Okay, so I looked at the picture, so it did pop up there. So pretty much the thing is powered by Rishi, basically the energy. It's basically similar to Chi. So it's powered by that, but it takes like a full minute to charge. And it does work at first because basically, well, Jan is basically impatient, so Nakua, who he calls her Nika's kid, despite the fact that's not her name. And it seems like he doesn't have a problem with it. There's also a thing in here about dancing with her. Yes, she has a thing with dancing. And then eventually of course, he overcomes his impatience by basically cooking pork cube soup. Now, I like pork. He tries pork at first as cooking. He says it's nasty. Yeah, that's true. Raw meat does not taste very good for you. But cooked with spices does taste very good. So that part she was correct about. Yep. So, pretty much in the way, like, well, like they eventually do in fact destroy both monsters, and then the end of the episode he's like, these two didn't have this mysterious, like, pure venom they were looking for, and it turns out it was the leader of the group who had it all along. And what does he decide to do with the damn thing? He used the two of his 5 fingers that has the damn thing to revive 2 dead monsters. No, seriously, he decides to revive Maoya and Mario's the gecko one, and Kanaru, the one who's centipede. Yeah, they revived the first 2 that they were destroyed, which was strange. I'm not really sure exactly why, but eventually he was defeated, and of course, the gecko one, I was basically noticing as watching the episode, wait, the guy basically doesn't like being on the ground, so why does he have no problem being on the ground when he's revived, even though he's like fully resurrected here? Even before he didn't like it, here he does not have a problem with it, which the person who wrote this episode either forgot what happened in episode 6, or basically this is a different writer. Possibly, I don't know. And of course, also it's where the Baka one wants to betray Rio. So he revives the other 2 by apparently gathering their remains, which, when did he take time to do this? This is basically never explained. He revives both of them, of course. I was surprised the fact they brought these 2 back, because I didn't read up any information about this. I basically was shocked to see these 2 come back. Now, of course, I know about some characters showing up, but I did not know these 2 came back. I had no idea about that. Though there is a character that's going to show up in episode 10, which I'll discuss that in my next video. But for this episode series, we'll also discuss the first of 3 films that Gekiranger had. Though the other 2 are team movies, and there's like one original movie. The first team movie was teamed with the previous series, Gekiranger. I'm not going to discuss that right now because I haven't watched Gekiranger yet. So I will review when I get a chance to get to it. Gekiranger versus Go-Anger. Yes, I will be discussing that one. Red Finch final episode series, which, in my opinion, makes total sense to that. Yep. So, and then of course Kale, and of course they try basically shorten the time span of charging thing. So they practice doing, of course, Kale, who had basically sort of been like supposedly eliminated by Bosco in order to eliminate Ryu, and she survives. So she basically withstands the bazooka blast like 3 times. And of course, Jan points out though, he points like she's a Kana woman. She's just training. They'll overcome the blast of Bosco, which of course he is eventually killed by her. Then of course before she kills him, she chops off his fingers that has the stuff that of course Ryo's looking for, kills him. Of course the gecko is eventually killed. Surprisingly, this episode did not feature an appearance by the Megazord. I think this was the first episode of the series I could think of seeing this so far where it does not appear the Megazord shows up. Yeah, I don't remember it showing up at all. I thought that was kind of strange. Yes, this is probably the first time I could think of where the Megazord does not show up at all, which is strange. Yeah. And one thing I like so far for this series is that once it's historic, they basically just set up the very next one. And here we have stuff with the true poison stuff. That's going to be interesting. And it's almost like every sort of set of episodes that explores the next story arc of the series. Which, I like the fact that they do this. So far, the first story arc is the first 3 episodes. And this story arc basically took episodes 4 through 9. And the very next arc, it takes up episodes 10 through, I think, like 17. Or yeah, it's like 10 to 11. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I'm definitely looking forward to discussing the rest of this. But yeah, um, still 3 really good episodes. Gekiranger is something I've been really enjoying so far. I mean, I love Jungle Fury. I think it's a damn good series. I thought when I first heard the opening theme song for Jungle Fury, I did mention this before, that it sounded like definitely something Disney would write because Disney was basically doing that one at that point. And the series was really good. And of course, also the guy who played Casey came back to be in Megaforce in probably the only tribute episode that they did that was actually really good. Yeah, it was something that was pretty useful compared to their tributes, which were not very good and very haphazardly done. Yeah, they apparently just couldn't be bothered to do any more tributes. I mean, the only tributes they did was for Wild Force. They did it for, of course, Jungle Fury, obviously. There was also one for RPM, which was not a very good. Which that one featured footage from different series. Don't know why, but they did. And I'm trying to think. They did. I'm trying to think. Was it one tribute they did? Oh yeah, they attributed the Samurai, and that one was pointless because you had Jared show up there for two quick cameos. We have G show up too. Yeah, and I had pointed out though. A lot of people pointed this out though that Gekiranger is better than Super Mega Force. Why? Because they actually did a good job of developing that basically just basic kind of in the way advertised in the previous series. Basically give people a good idea to check it out, possibly even the aired years prior. It actually a proper tribute. And one, I kind of feel this is they should have done a tribute for, something that Megaforce should have done, but Gekiranger did. Time Force. They should have went over that one, but they didn't. Yep. But yeah, that's going to be pretty much a particular view. Now, next episode, we'll be discussing, of course, the movie in the next 3 episodes. I'm looking forward to discuss those. So, next video is going to be Comic Corner, and I'm going to head straight to Trigon Stampede. First of 3 anime, which I should be able to get them all done, no problem today. I got time. I got plenty of time to do this. So, and after that, I'll head back to Gekiranger. Yep. So, in case you're curious, though, how far am I taking it with the series? I was originally planning on stopping at 25 because I figured it would be a halfway point. But I was really curious about the introduction about the 5th Ranger. So I decided to stop episode 30. That seems like a very good stopping point. So I'm going to be going through the first 30 episodes. And then when I come back, my break for it, but whatever anime I'm working on, I'll be working on the last 19 episodes of the series. Which I'm very much looking forward to that. Yep. So next up is Comic Corner and Dragon Stampede. Okay, next video.